What's up, guys? I'm here. I'm back. Real Coach Ryan. Haven't done a live stream in 6 months, 7, 8, 9 months. Bounced around the internet a little bit. You guys might have seen me on a couple other streams. But yeah, I'm happy to be back, and I'm looking forward to just catching you guys up on where I've been, what I've been up to. And yeah, I'm releasing a new program. I've just launched the Real Community. Come join us. It's pretty sick. We got like 7 or 8 guys in there right now, and I'm sure plenty more to come. And yeah, so super excited on that. I've had some crazy life happenings go on in the last year. Some trials and tribulations, as it were, and I will definitely be catching you guys up on all that. I'm pretty excited for that, actually. Just to kind of get a lot of things off my chest. We got Shark Week, the first week of August, Shark Week, as everyone knows. That will be a good time. Last year we had a great time. This year I'll be way, way, way more prepared. And I have tons of stuff to go through. But other than Shark Week, we're going to stay drama free. And that gives me 7 days to just kind of, get after it. So being as, I'm just coming back, and I figure I probably won't have many live viewers here. I'm going to poke around and show you guys what the Real Community looks like. So try to share my screen here. Let me see if I can do that. Cool. So I'm sharing my screen now. If I come down here to Safari. So if you guys go to realcoachryan.com or therealcoachryan.com, you'll see this landing page here, which looks a lot like just a typical sales page. I'm really proud of myself. I built this right here. I made this logo, which I was insanely proud of. And yeah, I mean, this is a work in progress in a big way. It's a dream of mine for 10 years now to have a community. And over the last 6 or 7 years, since I've really been coaching, I've been coaching for 8 years. Over the last 6 or 7 years, I've been acquiring some amazing clients, and essentially and I was doing just free calls. So when I say clients, I just really don't want to say students, but yeah, students, clients, whatever. I made a bunch of good friends, and essentially I wanted to have a place, and you guys have asked me again and again, and I finally feel I can deliver this. So it's a place that we can all chill and talk and hopefully grow together forever. That's really the idea, which is why it's just a one-time fee, $27. Not going to charge anything else over that. No hidden costs. It's not a subscription, nothing like that. I just wanted to put up well, for one, it cost me a little over $2,000 to build this fucking thing. I did everything by myself, but just to support the have it up is on Mighty Networks. But also too, because it's just I thought a free program itself would just not be the best idea, but for it to be completely free. But yeah, within this program, we have a forum. We're gonna do our live calls. We're gonna have once monthly group calls with me. We have once monthly group calls with another coach, and then we're also going to have, which is going to be pretty sick, all of my future digital programs are going to be up here. And then also one of our coaches is giving away all of his programs he's already done. He's going to just put them up here. So for free. So it's this is pretty dope. This to me is just a goodwill community. And that's what this is all about for me. And, I named it the Real Community because people are always oh yeah, the community. And it's the community is so fucking lame. It's just kind of a cesspool. And so I felt this is, if you're into this, if you're in my circle, to me, I think you're part of the real community, guys who want to learn cold approach for the right reasons, guys who are focused on self-development, guys who aren't into limiting beliefs, guys who, are genuinely and generally positive people. So, hell yeah. And believe me, I started off as a one negative fuck, like had my suicidal tendencies back in the day, and was just ultimately a fuck up for a long time. So yeah, let's check this out. Eliminate, rebuild, enjoy. We eliminate first. We got to get rid of all our vices, and then we build ourselves up, and then we enjoy our the benefits of what we sow. So why you should join. Get lifetime access to my main forum where you can ask questions, get answers from me personally, and connect with like-minded guys, including guys I've coached. I will also be able to participate. You will also be able to participate in my live free calls. No renewal fees or hidden costs. Pay once, access forever. Coming here should keep you from wasting your valuable time and hard-earned money in other ends of the internet. Fuck those guys. Take control of yourself. Members are worldwide and in your city. The topics range in every direction. This is where we grow together. This is what the community always wished it were. And down here, you see you choose a plan. It's $27 lifetime. Lifetime access to connect with us in forum and live calls. No renewal fees or hidden costs. Pay once, access forever. So there's no this isn't like a trick. There's no gimmicks here. I don't need the $27 from like 100 or 200 or 1,000 of you guys. Yeah, I'd be sick to make like $2,700 and be able to pay myself back for what I invested in this, which is just short of 2,700. But yeah, I mean, who gives a shit? This is really about a place for us to chill, and I feel like someone had to do it. So this is and I've been talking about doing this for a long time. So, thanks for bearing with me. This is I wanted to use Safari here because I wanted to show you guys what it looks like. So I'm not logged into Safari, but everything's through Mighty Networks. So if you're interested in learning more about Mighty Networks, go check them out. You can check out their terms, privacy policy, all that, just to ensure that your data is safe. It's a secure payment processor and all that shit. Yeah, so let's get out of this and let's go into the real Coach Ryan stuff. So cool. So this is what the program actually looks like once you're inside. And, obviously we're building this out, but we have the main hall. This is the main hall. Everything's up for discussion, post wins, losses, draws, help others. This is where we'll just be making posts and just commenting on things. And, I got really fucking stoked about myself when I recreated my little banner here. It took me a long time to build that out of Photoshop because I'm not very technologically literate, but yeah, a bunch of YouTube videos and learned how to do that. And I built this, pretty proud of it. This is actually about my Trustpilot, which is sick. You guys should, if you've ever been coached by me, go leave me a 5-star review on Trustpilot. That'd be sick. Yeah, I mean, I wrote a bunch of stuff. I wrote some long ass articles about just essentially about what my whole plan is here. The logo came from this idea of we all, people say you need a gut check. Well, I'm all about the reality for me is we need a heart check. All us guys are just falling victim to the same fucking dumb things, just jerking off and peeing all over each other, all over ourselves, I should say. And each other, it's just a clown show acting like we're tough shit when we're really not. And yeah, so I got a couple members, a couple moderators. James here is one of the moderators. He's super clever with technology and just building out sites. He's worked with a bunch of other guys in the industry. I'll let him explain whenever he gets to talking about it, but he does a lot of Loom videos for me, which is sick, explaining how to do things. And he put one in here for us, advising how to basically set it up. Actually, he helped me do this right here, put this little real community thing right down here. I actually hope right now that I'm sharing my screen because I don't even know if I really am, but this is our free calls, which we have once a month. Our first one's going to be Friday, guys, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm in China right now, which I'll get to that in a minute, but so I'll be waking up early for it. But yeah, join our free calls. It's going to be, we have them twice monthly, and I'll click here on the free call link right here, and you'll see, yeah, so my free calls, we also have free calls with Dan. So that's twice monthly. We meet as a group, get your questions answered, get some FaceTime with me, with Dan. If you guys don't know Dan, check out Fearless Dan. He's all about, at least that channel is all about internet cessation, getting off porn, basically getting over your addictions, kind of moving on through past your childhood essentially, and growing the fuck up. Daniel's an amazing dude. He's a true digital nomad. He's been traveling around. He's got a bunch of crazy cool startups in crypto and stuff. This guy's well deep into it. check him out. He's smart as fuck, and he's someone I trust this guy with my life, which is a big reason why I want to have him around. And so I'm stoked to have him here. We have the Legends Room, which is going to be those currently in a monogamous long-term relationship. Rest your sword on the mantle, build a fire. The Legends Room will be all for guys who are in a relationship, wanting to talk about relationships, wanting to kind of bring me up and bring other coaches or like-minded guys up on like, well, what is going on with relationships? Like, I've had a hard time in my life keeping relationships. I've always just like cheated or like found myself with other girls just because I'm, that's my vice, is just cold approach pickup. And so it's been really hard for me, but I wanted to have a place, the Legends Room. I wanted to have a place for guys because I felt that, so often I get a message from somebody. Like, my one buddy was just in New York City the other day, and that's where I'm usually located. And I'll get to why I'm in China in a minute. But my one buddy is usually, he visited New York City, and he was like, oh yeah. I was like, dude, what the fuck? I saw his photos on Instagram. I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, why didn't you hit me up? And he was like, I don't know, man. Like, you're like, I didn't want to tell you, like, I was visiting with a girl. Like, I was like, I have a girlfriend. It's like, dude, what? Like, I fucking love you, bro. Like, let me know, dude. I'd love to like come and just say hi, like grab a fucking cup of coffee. Like, you know what I mean? Or even just like to know that you're around. Like, we spend so much time in these calls together and things, we grow up together. And then, I get bummed out when you guys just think of me as somebody who's just like, the PUA guy. And, in a big way, I have been, and I am, but I want you guys also to know that, I have relationships too. And though I've struggled to have monogamous relationships, like, it's something that I really admire and look up to in a lot of guys. And so, I think fatherhood, I think being a great father and a family man is something that I wish for myself in the future. And who knows if I'll get there, but right now it doesn't look like it. I'm 34 years old, and there's stats like 12% of guys after 35 like get married. So it looks like I'm fucked. Anyway, digital programs, this space is being built. It costs $99 a month to maintain this area. We'll get there, believe. Yeah, it's going to cost $99 a month to maintain the digital programs area. So I'm not really sure how I'll do this, whether it'll be just I'll get a bunch of guys. So out of this membership area, out of this real community, I want to create like a very small cohort and offer boot camps and live classes and one-on-one time with me. And of course, it's going to be incredibly affordable. Like, I'm here to like kind of undercut all the grifters out there who are just like stealing from you guys and like screwing over poor fucking kids. But the digital programs area, my intention is to have this be completely free. That's kind of my promise to you. So I'm not going to go back on that. Just all my future digital programs and everything I can, just a classroom, a curriculum, modules, just organized here like really, really well. And just for us to for you to step through, like to go through step by step. That way, like, anyone who joins will be prompted with this and we'll be able to go through the modules and then have prompts to talk in the main hall about. And then also, like, obviously then if you're wanting to meet with me on a boot camp or something, I could always hold you to it and be like, yo, dude, did you fill it? Did you like do all the modules? Like, do you know what the fuck you're talking about? Like, have you done your, 1,000 hours or whatever? And then we have the champions room. And the champions room, it says you've mastered the art or graduated a cold approach companion class or cohort, revel in it. And this is pretty much like for guys we've deemed worthy, guys who've just like, put in the fucking work and have just like kind of excelled in all areas. So cool. Let me come back to the stream and see how we're doing. Awesome. Jay, well done on the website, bro. Thanks, man. That's sick. I appreciate that. That's really sick. It was, Mighty Networks makes it really easy. If you guys are thinking about doing something like that for yourself, like, now I have another idea for a business that I'm working on, which is totally different than this. It's like a guitar. I essentially want to create like a digital course for how to play guitar specific to one band. And after using Mighty Networks, I realized like, damn, like I should just like invite people into a community to learn it from me, as opposed to like just having the digital program or like tablature or something. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Highly recommend Mighty Networks, and I don't get paid to say that or any of that shit, but I highly doubt they support what I'm really about, because they seem to be very like PC or whatever. But anyway, super like streamlined, and yeah, I spent a lot. Thank you, man. I spent a lot of time. Like, I don't want to like undermine myself there. I spent a lot of time fucking reading and just attending these stupid ass like webinars. Actually, it's incredible. They have weekly webinars where they like will answer all your questions. Like, it's kind of like the same idea that I have, I guess. So Good on them. They're awesome. But thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. Let's go back through. We're going to look at, so that's basically it for the real community. And there's a bunch of cool stuff going on. I'll show you guys my profile in there, because like I have like a pretty cool little photo. Yo, I used to use this photo, and this one right here. Wait, am I sharing? Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. Cool. I used to use this photo, and yo, and like mad people in my hometown were like, that doesn't even look like you, just because like I blurred the background. It's like, dude, like I didn't even fucking change it. I just like blurred the background. Like that was it. But anyway, yeah, I made a couple collages like this, which like I was planning to use on like YouTube and stuff like that. But then I just decided like, nah, no reason to get like raunchy with it. But you know, here giving a speech, here coaching some clients, talking to some blondes with some of my clients, client talking to blonde booty chick, a couple girls I'm with, some more girls and stuff. And yeah, I guess I'll read this here. I'm Ryan Fernandez. I work to attain the social skills to date solely from cold approach pickup, and now I'm helping you do the same. Welcome to TRC, the real community. About me, my name is Ryan Fernandez. I've been giving guys a holistic approach for dating, cold approach pickup, and lifestyle development since 2015. Proud to truly practice what I preach. I've built this community at the request of so many clients, past and present. This membership forum is home to all our private conversations, classes, and the focus on my digital coaching programs. I use the free meetings and the group coaching opportunities as a way to vet guys for the cohort, summit, and live boot camps. This space is not for time wasters, trolls, or dabblers. We work hard to be great. Yeah, guys, I mean, what has happened to our community? What has happened to like the pickup world, where like guys are just, you know, so focused on like the quick tip, or like what lines do I say or whatever? It's like, holy shit. Obviously, the best thing that you can do for yourself is to become the best version of you. You know what I mean? And so like, you know, a lot of the times what guys are afraid of when they join a course or take someone's coaching is loss of personality. And that's a good thing to fear, because most coaches are going to like implore that you change your personality. You know, my coaching, I'm not going to touch your personality. Like we're only going to develop it. I'm not going to put my hands in there at all, because what we do is first we eliminate vices. It's kind of like if you have like a really fat dude and he's just like, oh, I'm ugly. Like, what should I do? It's like, dude, lose fucking weight. Like, what do you mean? Like, just lose weight and then determine what you think you look like. It's the same thing here. Like, we're carrying all this fucking baggage because like we just collect all these vices of our own, like, you know, porn, like TikTok scrolling, like, you know, video games, just wasting time, sleeping in, drinking, drugs, staying up late, chasing girls, all these things that like just they're not good. Like they're taking you down like super, super low, like in the mud. And so the way to get out of that is just the way to really attract people is to become admirable. And so the first way to do that, I feel, is to wake up early. And I preach my morning process. You'll hear me say it again. I have a video plan for later this week where I'm going to actually say like, this is my morning process. And this at the request of James, who's my buddy and one of the moderators in the community. He's like, dude, like your fucking morning process is like so intact every day. You're just like dialed in. Like, what the fuck? Like, tell me more. And I'm like, well, to me, it's like pretty simple. It's like wake up early, time with self, which is meditate, journal, read, seek inspiration. Once you don't sit there in leisure. Once you get the inspiration, you get into fitness. You're replaying the same mantra in your head again and again and again. Stern with self, kind with others. Stern with self, kind to others. You know what happened? The way you do anything is the way you do everything. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. Just repeating. And then basically the rest of it after the fitness is just, I like to say career, but really it's cold approach and family. And to me, career now is a big deal because I found things that I love. But earlier in my life, it was more like gaining skills. So it was learning a foreign language. It was scraping by to just like be able to do things like travel and whatnot. And let me get into this. So what am I doing in China? Yeah. So actually I'm really, really proud to admit to you guys that I'm an inventor. Like I invented something. And me and my buddies, I play ice hockey, and me and my buddies who are ice hockey players in China, I met these guys in China, and you guys may not know my story, but essentially I started traveling in 2015. Basically, to sum it up, my dad he was not feeling too good. He was kind of sick. He had cancer, and like, thanks guys, he's doing really well. Everything's good, but he wasn't doing too well. And I was in grad school at the time, and I kind of kept using this same phrasing, like, which I thought was like reverse psychology. I was saying to him, like, what are you going to do when you get better? And he would look at me like, dude, what are you going to do when I get better? What are you going to do if I die? And, at one point, and at the time, I was like, I'm going to go get a PhD because I knew that that would make him proud. And it was what I was doing. I was in master's college. I was reading like a fiend, and I was basically just sitting around reading and writing. Like, that's basically all I was doing, and like talking smart shit with like smart people, and mostly talking about like literary things, like talking about literature and philosophy, stuff that's not really the healthiest stuff, really, I think, to get into for the most part. And anyway, so I decided, my dad, the one thing is, and I'd said this in because I was an adjunct professor for a short time. I'd said this in all my, professorships. When I get in front of a class, my main lesson was always like, what is a purpose? Cause like, you're a young professor, you have no idea what the fuck you're doing. You're like a teacher's assistant basically. So you're just like, you take over one class and you want to teach like the biggest thing in the world and like make an impression. So I'd ask like, what is the purpose of life? And at that time, I thought the purpose of life was happiness. Now I think the purpose to life is actually service, which makes me happier than feeling happy. But anyway, to kind of, and I'm jumping through a lot of, different areas here in my life, which I'll go over in full extent on the channel. But ultimately, in these classes that I was teaching, I realized, if the purpose to life is finding happiness, and the way to find happiness is finding love, and the way to find love is through others, and the way to share with others is to know yourself. And then and then my fucking professor, my super smart mentor, said to me, he was like, dude, why don't you just look at the biography of all your favorite people, of all the smartest people that read their biography. What did they do? What was the verb? Like, they founded this community, and the one verb that they all had together was, well, besides they'd all written books, which is something else I'd love to complete in my life, is they all traveled. They were all very well traveled. And so talking to my dad about doing this PhD and all this shit, and he was getting better. And then all of a sudden it was like the day was coming when we knew either he was not going to do too good or he was going to do great. And, in terms of his illness. And yeah, I decided, you know what, like, when that day comes, I'm going to leave the country. I'm going to travel. And so I left my little farm town, Pennsylvania. I remember my buddies, and they're now wives who were their girlfriends at the time. This is like 8 years ago now, 9 years ago. They all threw a party for me, and I was moving to Chile, Santiago de Chile, and I did not speak any Spanish. I was a complete imbecile. And I went down to Chile, and when I arrived in Chile, I learned a lot of lessons. Like, just like every day was like a huge lesson on loneliness, on fear, on anxiety, on just learning something new, on becoming someone. And turns out that my mentor was totally right in guiding me towards those individuals if I were to learn as much as I wanted, but not right in the sense that he wished that I came back to school. I never went back. It's now been 9 years, and I've traveled all over the place. I've traveled to many different countries, lived in 4 different countries. I moved to China at one point. I was kind of like leaning towards Asian philosophy, and I wanted to investigate like what was so backwards about, which is what I'd heard about this side of the world. So, I wasn't interested in like, the fast, easy lifestyle of like Philippines or Southeast Asia in terms of like, Thailand or Cambodia. Vietnam didn't really seem that on the up and up at the time. It's actually quite nice. I've been there. I actually lived there on an island in Phuket for a little while, but and I didn't do this with money, guys. Like, a lot of people rip me. They're like, oh, you're broke. It's like, yeah, dude, I basically spent my 20s like spending my money on travel and on gaining skills. But as I wanted to get to, when I was in China, I joined a group of hockey players in, the city I was in, Shenzhen. And it's the city, the Pearl River Delta, the most populated area in the world. I'm fairly certain in the history of the world, unless that's recently changed. And yeah, essentially I, in that area, right, I was met with a ton of great hockey talent, ice hockey, and I just started to play a lot of ice hockey, which I hadn't done when I was living in South America. They didn't really have areas for me to do that. And while I was living there, and playing ice hockey, I met some guys who were like in the OHL, in these like basically professional leagues. And we played in what was essentially a pro am league, like mostly amateur players with like a handful of professional players who were paid to come play for the teams that we were playing with and against. Like the Japan national team like came and played against like our Shenzhen team. I didn't get to play because I like suck, but because like there's some really talented guys. And like, I played with a few NHLers came and visited, and like we got on the ice with us, like Ken Danico and like a handful of others. Anyway, I just remember him because he chilled with us. Anyway, so the reason why I brought that up is because I'm a friggin' inventor, bro. And I invented this shit right here. I want to show you guys. And I'm not the principal inventor. Like it was actually my buddies who, so as an ice hockey player, we've all thought of like, you have like the targets on the net that you can like shoot at for practice. And like, usually it's like this like Velcroed, like plastic sheet that just like, if you shoot well or hard enough, it'll just like get ripped off or whatever. And it's just not good. It's not fun. It's not efficient. Like if you don't have a goalie, like you're pissed. And so what a lot of players do is they resort to playing post, and then you're shooting at the post, which teaches terrible techniques, because then like you're in certain, because hockey's a fast sport. So, you're looking up at the net, but a lot of the times, like, muscle memory, next thing you know, like you're clanging posts like left and right in real game situations, or like, in beer league when you want to score that goal and like you hit it off the post every fucking time because you played post your whole life growing up. So yeah, we've all thought of this idea. I'm sure every hockey player's thought of this idea, but living in Shenzhen, which is, the manufacturing capital of the world, it's where essentially like all iPhone, like the drones, like all the shit's being created. All the phones are. Actually, I think that's moved over to India recently. But anyway, it's where all these things were originally being created. There's a place called Huashangbei, which is essentially like this huge mall of just like, it's like the floor is just like littered with like, they're like stalls where there's like, this guy has a blue wire and this guy has the green wire and this guy has like the one thing and the other guy has the other thing. And it's just nuts. Like and like everyone has 3D printers. And like, if you don't have it, somebody, and like everything's insanely cheap. Like my one buddy built a phone that was like a Huawei, a Samsung, and an iPhone in one phone. And you could like toggle between cameras, and it had like it had like 6 cameras, because like I don't even know what he was doing. This guy's nuts. But yeah, I mean, if you're into technology, like you probably know about Huashangbei. So it's in Shenzhen. So anyway, being as I was there and I had all these hockey buddies, we started to like, after a few games, we started talking about, just basically being like inventing something, like, and so after trials and tribulations of it all, we invented something pretty sick. And so I'm going to show you guys my personal Instagram here, where I've been posting more and more about it, because now it's live. Because a lot of you guys have asked me, like, where have you been? Well, so for one, I have a dream job of mine, which is at Madison Square Garden. I love my job. I work with the New York Rangers. I work with the greatest fans in the world. Our mission is to uplift the human spirit. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I did 285 days, over 300 events in my first year. My second year, I slowed down a lot, but I still had like, 4 events a night. I mean, a week, or more, sometimes 5 or 6. And like, a lot of people ask me like, who's the most famous person you've met? Or like, what's the best event you've seen? And it's like, guys, like, just name your favorite fucking person. And like, there's a good chance that I've seen him or met him or her, and I'm not trying to brag. I'm not really into that really, but it's just it's so easy to be there. The energy is always up. Going into work is awesome. I'm a VIP concierge, which is essentially like a butler, basically. Well, basically what I do there is I welcome when a celebrity or VIP or like super fucking rich person comes in, my job is to take them from their staff. So, and then like be their staff at the garden, because we don't allow them to bring their like posse and like all their staff in unless they have tickets, which sometimes if they're like mega rich, they'll like buy tickets for like 2 or 3 of their guys. But usually they don't. Usually they're like, oh, we're going to the garden tonight. That means that all of my staff gets to take off. and gets to like chill in New York City while I go in and like get taken care of by me. And so like I shake, hey, what's up, man? Shake their hand. Yo, Busta, what's up, dude? Because I met Busta Rhymes like a few times actually. Because then you get the same people and they like request you, you know? Anyway, so like, yeah, I have some crazy stories, like some really insane stories. Like Beyonce, like and Jay-Z, and like Beyonce like gave me the $100 tip that Jay-Z took out of his fucking wallet, and like he gave it to her to give to me because he knew that I would like love it. You know, like stupid stuff like that. Which again, like I'm not really into celebrities, so like for me, I just like I'm like, yo, what up? Like Busta, you changed my life, bro. I love your fucking first 3 albums, dude. Flip mode. You know what I mean? Like, so anyway, super cool job. I'm super proud that I have it. I work. People always ask me how did I get it. I applied for 5 fucking years. You know, I crushed the interview because I have great charisma, because I built myself up, because my character's unbreakable. You know, because I live the same morning routine, because I, look people in the fucking eye and I know who I am. You know, these are the things that I'm really preaching on here. And, I was 32 years old when I got the job. It took me a long ass time. It took me 12 years of, like failing and like being rejected and all these things, not just by girls, but by jobs that I wanted, things like that. So anyway, so I have that job, which is sick. I still have the job. The Rangers are in the playoffs, game 7 tonight. So I'll be watching from here, but I'll get back for the rest of the playoffs soon enough. And hopefully we win tonight. Holy shit. And yeah. And so let me show you guys, I'm going to share this with you guys. And then we're going to, oh wait, I'm still sharing the screen. Yeah, I'm an idiot. So you guys are just watching this on this big ass screen. Dudes, I'm so bad at this shit. All right, so let's check this out. Cool. So this is my personal page. It's Ryan Fernandez. I hadn't shown this to people for like a long while because I separated the two. I didn't want to spam people because like this is my coaching Instagram. I didn't want to like spam like all my friends and family with just like my receipts, which like I don't really mind spamming them now, but at the time I didn't want to spam them with that shit. And yeah, so this is Snipes. So let's check it out. And there's no sound. Oh, here it is. Yo, so like we made a bunch of fucking sick ass commercials too about Snipes. Like it's fucking sick. That's my buddy Eric. He's like the principal inventor of Snipes. Yeah, so that's Snipes. That's sick. You guys can check out this page if you feel like it. I made it public now, so you guys can follow me if you want. Oh, dude, screen isn't sharing? Jesus. I'm glad I came back. Cool. So let me just read through these comments real quick. Yeah, let's get the channel bumping. Hell yeah, bro. Spent 20 trying to get clean. You did a much better job, brother. Dude, I hope you're clean now. If you're not, you better be fucking working on it. Dude, like wake the fuck up, man. I know how hard that is. I have a lot of family members just struggling, man. It's can't imagine. I don't know what you DM me, bro. I'd love to talk to you. Yeah, dude, I don't know SerpentZA, but I met him a couple times and yeah, like, dude, like he's so weird, bro. Like he'd be like walking through Shenzhen, it'd be like 98 degrees with like 98% humidity, and he'd like have his like suit on and be like sweating. And I think he's like kind of like he's got to be he's a weird guy. He's fucking weird. But yeah, I mean, he's pretty sick, I guess. I definitely appreciated a lot of the videos he made for a certain amount of time, but I don't pay much attention to I never really paid attention to him, and I definitely don't pay attention to him now, but I've definitely seen his videos before, so I know exactly what you're talking about. And dude, thanks for letting me know. I'm a moron. I hope I didn't waste too much of your guys' time. Dude, he literally wore a suit. Like we'd all be sweating, and he'd just be walking through in a suit, and like, like I've heard him explain it because I like went online and like I was like, yo, SerpentZA, and he just like looked at me like angrily. I was like, dude, like I'm your fucking fan, bro. Like, what are you doing? And then I was like, all right, maybe I shouldn't have been like yelling. But then I like, Googled him up and checked out like, on YouTube, why does he wear a suit everywhere? And yeah, dude, it turns out that he's like, yeah, you got to dress to impress. It's like, dude, like you were weirding people out. Like, and a lot of people, I think they think like, oh, well, in China, everyone wears a suit. It's like not in Shenzhen, bro. It's 100 degrees. It's 98% humidity. Like, look it up. It's tropical weather. Like, people are not wearing suits. Like, what are you talking about, dude? All right, so let's add this to the stream. There we go. Now you guys can see, right? Here's my page I was talking about. Can you guys see this? It says it's sharing the screen. That's why I was confused. Yeah, you guys have to be able to see this. So I hope you can see this. This is Snipes that I was talking about. We made a bunch of commercials. Let me know if you can hear this. I only have one monitor here. Cool. So you guys can at least see it. Could you hear that? Somebody let me know. Like, somebody let me know if you could hear it. I try to like blast it because I think like sound's coming out of the mic, so I don't think the internal speakers are going to pick it up. But go check it out. That's my Instagram. I mean, if you're not a hockey player, you might just want to like poke around and have a look. I still post like a bunch of crazy shit on there. But let me share my stream again. Share my stream. That sounds so fucking. This is my coaching page. You guys, if you don't follow me on here, that's cool. I don't really. A lot of guys are like, "Yo, I don't have Instagram." It's like that's why we have the real community. Just join the fucking real community. Don't make an Instagram to follow me. But I love to follow whoever's following me so I can like see what you guys are up to. I love to catch you guys slipping and be like, yo, bro, like you told me you quit drinking. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Or like, yo, dude, you told me you were going to lose weight. You're fucking fat as fuck. Like, what are you doing? Like, or yo, dude, like you told me that like you were done with that shit. Like, what the fuck? Or like, yo, dude, like you said you were going to go out on the weekend. Like, why are you playing video games all night? So it's I kind of use it as accountability, but I also like to post some receipts on here and just like, things I think are generally motivating. But yeah, so if you guys are interested in that, check that out. Like every single day, like, dude, like this, I got to make sure I'm even sharing this because I'm like worried that I'm not. All right, no audio. That's all right. You guys can go check it out on your own if you want audio. Sorry about that. But I haven't figured out this fucking technology shit. But yo, like I literally every single morning when I wake up, I post like my meditation, which I guess is not going to play now. Every morning when I wake up, I post my meditation and what time it's at. Like this morning, I got up at like some ungodly time. I think I got up at like 2:45, but my meditation might not have been until a bit later. Yeah, 3:23. And then I'll post like some words of wisdom, so to speak, and me lifting in the background, which like I'm not really here to like, coach you in fitness, but I'm here to like, keep you guys accountable. So like I'm actually really, really, really proud of this. And I highly recommend that. A lot of guys are like, oh, I don't want Instagram. It's gonna ruin my life. It's like, dude, like Instagram can save your life. Like just use it for the right reasons. Like, this is my pops right here. This is my dad. Um, like I post every single day, just like some fucking motivational words, which like I don't give a shit if you read this. Like, it doesn't affect me or not, whether or not anyone reads. Like, I was doing this with 0 followers. Like, it's crazy. Like, I was doing this shit with 0 followers, and people would be like I like, I only film one set at the gym, but people would be like, oh, like, what do you like got an Instagram going? I'd be like, no, because I didn't want. I was not that I was embarrassed, but like I just didn't want people to like follow me. Like, I just didn't give a shit. I mean, maybe I just like wasn't that was actually pretty sick. That was 2 plates right there. I almost got, looks like I got like, yep, almost got one. Fuck. Probably weighed like 175 pounds though, which is like pretty light for me right now. Now I'm like 210, 215, like a fucking fatty right now, cultivating mass. But yeah, like I'm super fucking proud of this shit. You guys can check this shit out on your own, but like, just take you through the journey of like, me, of like what I do every day, like meditation, fitness, meditation, fitness, testimonies, rest in peace, fitness, meditation, hero, dates. This is one I know like every guy is going to want to click on, which is like, dates or whatever. But let's see if this comes up. And I got to post here more. Like, I have just hard drives of dates. You know what I mean? Oh, here's the Russian chick. Let's just skip through. Yeah, she's fine as fuck. Sophia. Look at this. Damn. Miss that girl. Yeah, good times, good times. So that's kind of what I'm all about, you know what I mean? And so I I don't recommend that you guys like just go out and create an Instagram, but if you have an Instagram, like you should be making posts like every day of the same things if you want to use it for accountability. If you want to use it for dating and like pickup, I would recommend the same, but I wouldn't be so try hard because I don't think girls are going to be very attracted to my posts where I'm like, yo, motherfucker, like you like do more than you did yesterday, like, you know what I mean, like, which is like me telling me what to do better than I did before. You know what I mean, like, so I don't really recommend that. Also, like, my meditation post can be, I think, can come off as like a little bit like on the spectrum, like OCD or some shit, where it's like every morning this dude's up at like 2 or 3 in the morning, like posting his meditation, which like when I'm dating girls and like we like, because like I will like have a drink every now and then, or like I will like stay up real late or like go out to the party with them or whatever every now and then, like I'll like go to sleep for like 2 hours and like set my alarm and like wake the fuck up at 2:30 or 3 or 3:30 in the morning, which normally I don't set an alarm. I just wake up early as fuck. But, I'll do that because I want to, because I'm committed to this. And I think they think like, what a weirdo. But I also think maybe that they admire it because I think it's admirable. But anyway, so I want to check out the comments here, and then we're at 43 minutes. I want to do 50 minutes here. And then I've got a bunch of work to do because I want to get videos out to you guys every single day. I want to live stream more with you guys. I want to live stream at better times, so it's not like in the middle of the fucking day, on like a Monday in your work week, so that like most of you guys can join. And yeah, I really want to get as many guys as I can into the real community, guys that I know and love and trust, and guys who I don't yet know that I know that I'll love and trust to join us, so we can actually like, get on with the thing, in like the private calls and not be like out here on the internet doing this whole thing. So if you guys have any questions, I see there's like 3 or 4 guys in here, which is sick. Thank you guys for being here. Let me know if you have any questions about me, about my life, about the channel, about snipes, about my Instagram, about my morning process, whatever. If not, I'll just probably just continue to ramble on. Yo, suits are uncomfortable as fuck anyway. Yeah, man. You know what's funny about that? Jay said this shit, which I agree and I disagree. I agree because I hate wearing suits, but at my job sometimes I have to wear a suit. And when I wear a suit, if it's like a really nice suit, it feels nice. Like, it's fucking nuts. Like, I would never think I would say that because like I'm usually wearing like no shoes, no socks, no shirt. Like that's like my outfit for the day. So it's crazy that I would say that, but yeah, suits are typically really uncomfortable. I'm not a big fashion guy, but I think if you do it right, I think you can actually find some pretty comfortable, like nice clothing. Um, Bryce in the house, what's up, brother? I don't know if that's you shredding on the guitar with the hair, but that's sick if that's you. If not, maybe you're into that. That's cool too. Um, yo, remember Snopes? Remember Snopes, dude? I think Snopes was like a game, like a video game or something. I gotta look this up really quick. But yes, Snipes. You said Snipes right after. Yeah, dude. Thanks, BKH. Thanks a lot, bro. I gotta look up Snopes really quick because yeah, dude, that was Snipes. Snipes is sick, bro. Snipes is really sick. I appreciate that. Everyone who sees it is just like, dude, Snipes is so sick. Oh, Snopes is the fact checking site. Yeah, yeah, that's right. My dad would always be like, "Yo, go to Snopes." Yeah, like yeah, man. Everyone who sees Snipes is just like, dude, like you're a fucking genius. And I'm like, well, it wasn't just me. I didn't really. It's like an idea we've all had. I didn't like invent anything really. It's just like being in the right place, the right time, like being risk averse. Like guys, like being risk averse is really the name of the game. Like if you want to like waste your life, then like be afraid, you know. And if you don't want to waste your life, then like take risks. And you know, I think part of taking risks is it's inherent, right? That if you want to waste your life and you take risks, you might end up wasting your life because of a risk you took. So you got to be careful too, right? So it's like a fine balance. There's a little bit of like luck or probability involved, and you know, and so I'm really grateful, man. I'm really, really grateful. Yeah, dude, the girlfriend with red hair. Yeah, man. I got to do like a whole video on this, bro. Like this is just it's just so much happened, dude. It's just yeah, I mean, like the long and short of it, like things were really, really great. And, you know, she knows my lifestyle. And I started to kind of keep it from her. And I started to kind of, I think, you know, I started to kind of mistreat the relationship, kind of just like taking her for granted, I guess. And then a pregnancy happened. And then at that point, I was like, all right, well, I'm in it forever now. And then the baby was lost. And that was brutal. And when that happened, like my whole world like tore down, like fell apart. And ultimately I just um yeah, I mean I got to do a whole video on this because you know, there's you know, I've made it like my whole life not having any like close calls, not having any like no girls, you know, going to get like the baby dead, abortion or whatever. Like no STDs, like none of that stuff. And yeah, I mean, I'm like a family guy. Like I grew up with a good family. You know what I mean? And like my family's like hit some fucking rocky areas here and there, and like you know, my parents split up eventually. You know, my mom like fucked up. You know, which is like kind of like the story everyone knows too well, right nowadays. But and that really hurt. And that's a whole video and a half in itself, you know, which you know is part of me having a channel is I want to share with you guys what's like who I am, what's going on with my life. But yeah, dude, like she just and then she just like unraveled, bro. And like she just like I saw like her true colors, you know what I mean? And like I tried so hard to like keep it together and like not let it fall apart and like make it so would that it would last. And it seemed like she just kept hurting me and trying to hurt herself and just you know putting me in a place that I just wasn't willing to get put back in by anybody. And for whatever reason, and you know, like I was forgiving and I was like, you know what, like we can get through this. Like we can do this. Even though like you like, you know, are breaking down all the time and like having, you know, a conniption or whatever. It's like I'm strong enough for that. That's not that big of a deal. But after, you know, long enough, it's just like, dude, like you're talking to me in a way that sounds like you don't respect me. Like you're treating me in a way that makes me feel like I could do better. And so then I just stepped out, excuse myself. But that's a tough one, man, because like I've been away from the USA for a little while. When I go back, like I'm like I know how it's gonna feel when I like hit the air and it's just like, damn, like she's around here. You know what I mean? It's like it can be kind of tough in that way. But that's part of the karmic debt, bro. Like when you that's why like I tell guys, like, you know, you don't want to just like chase pleasure. You don't want to just like chase girls. Like I got really good at the cold approach thing and it led me down a road where like now like pretty much every single city I go to in various different countries, I have ex-girlfriends or like every corner of the internet that I could travel, I'm gonna like come across an ex-girlfriend. And like it's like, you know, like the ex-girlfriends who get married, like good for them. I'm happy. The ex-girlfriends who don't, it's brutal. It's like, wow, you're in your 30s and you're not married. Like, sorry if I fucked you up. Like, sorry that like you thought that we were gonna be forever because like you fell in love with me because I got us there. You know what I mean? Like, and again, like, you know, there's just two adults in the room at the end of the day, but like, you know, karmic debt's a real thing. And then like other aspects, like, you know, having had so many girlfriends, like last 2 summers ago, I lost two girlfriends in a span of 2 weeks. They died. Like, not, they weren't my girlfriend at the time. They were ex girlfriends. One was married, but like I haven't spoken to either one of them. One of them I spoke to in like the last few years, but the other one I hadn't spoken to for like 5 or 6 years, and they died in like the span of 2 weeks. And it was like, dude, like that shit hurts. Like that physically hurt me, and it was hard. Like that's my karmic debt. And when I talk about karmic debt, that's what I get for developing all those relationships. So on, you know, on the side, on one side you have a strength, but on that, it's like a double-edged sword. Like then there's the weakness sitting in its shadow. And so like, and the weakness isn't always like what's considered to be a weakness. A lot of times it's, you know, it's pain. It's pain. And so, yeah, I mean, once you've kind of, and a lot of guys out there are like, oh, I wish I would trade it I would trade it any day to have your like sexual exploits. Like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, that's not what it's about. Like, trust me, like when you've reached the number, like the other day I made a video where I was walking down the street with my girl here, Hong Hong, and like she asked me, because she wanted to ask me, she's like, how many girls have you been with? And I told her, I was like, a lot, like a fucking lot. And like a lot. And I say it in the video or whatever. Like, and you know, I added it all up, and it's like that's not good. You know what I mean? Like I'm proud that I am who I am. I'm proud that I have this knowledge, that I'm like capable of saying like that is an aspect, like that may not be a part of trauma. That may not have been a result of trauma, but there's trauma in there. Like there's a lot of bad things that happened. And so, yeah, I mean, yeah, man, thank you for asking. That's a sick question. Like I love that you asked. Probably you just like were following or whatever, like thought she's super hot, which like, yeah, yeah. But maybe you liked her for whatever reason. I'd like to know like what you guys think about, you know, these people who are part of my life who I share with you guys. And I plan to go back and like clip some stuff. Dude, I had like a whole hard drive of videos with her where it was like talking about game and talking about pickup and how we met, talking about like how to take off a bra, super secret way with like one hand, which like I made another video on that. I made that video like 5 times in my life and just never produced it. I've literally made videos for this so many times and just never produced them because I just didn't feel like it. And I just wasn't there yet. And so anyway, so like at one point she like just like took my hard drive and just like annihilated it, like literally just like threw it in like the fucking sink, and I lost it all. And I was like, why did you do that? Like, and I wasn't even upset about losing the footage. It was just like, why did you do that? Like, what are you doing? And she's just like, you know, I hate you. do you hate me? Like, what? Like, obviously you're an emotional train wreck. Like, what are you talking about? So, and I think it's hormones too. It's like, dude, I can't imagine like walking to the bathroom and like looking in your pants and like there's like a like baby blood. Like there's like a buck and there's like fleshy blood. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like when I saw the photos she sent me, yeah, I like cried, dude, with like my head in my hands. And like immediately told my sister, bro. Like I couldn't even I couldn't even hide it. I just like broke down. Like it's brutal shit, man. But yeah, let's keep moving on. We can come back. I'm an open book, guys. Like that's the whole point of this. That's the whole point of the channel, teach you guys some shit from my life that can help you in yours, or even just entertain you and just give you guys like some positive entertainment. Was she speaking to you like crap in Spanish or English? Hope you'll be I don't think she spoke any English really. She didn't really speak English, bro. That's another thing is like so many guys are like, oh, like how like like I hate online dating. Like part of this channel is like I want to come out here and be like online dating is fucking bullshit. And like one of the biggest things that people in the online dating world say is they're like, yo, like, dude, come on, man. Like, I only swipe on Tinder while I'm shitting, bro. Like, set up a date while you shit. Like, nothing better than that. It's like, well, for one, dude, shut the fuck up because you definitely go back to it more than that. Like, this, like, statistics show, like, they have like the greatest, like, behavioral psychologists, like, getting you to look at it. But then, secondly, it's like, bro, like, do you know what I did while I was shitting? I learned Spanish. So like, what the fuck, dude? Just because you think that if you have that time, so do I. And I took that time and turned it into Spanish language, which has opened up the world to me in a way bigger way than, your Tinder experiment's going to. So I fucking hate the online dating, guys. I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater though. Like, for instance, like AlexPWF has been real cool to me. And I wanted to ask him when I make this channel a bit bigger, if this ever catches on, I want to ask him like, yo, dude, like what's up with your text game situation? Like can you join the real community and offer something with regards to that? Is he even the best? I don't fucking know. I got to check it out and vouch for him before I really vouch for him, but he's a good dude. So I at least appreciate that. I like the idea of my girl knowing I'm someone who isn't with her out of lack of options. Yeah, dude, exactly. Yeah, man, exactly. Exactly. It's like you can't what is it? Like you can't put the cart before the horse. Like you have to actually, and that's a great phrase because like you have to be the fucking horse, dude. You got to train the horse. Like you got to be strong and like capable. And so, but it doesn't really mean that you have to have had a lot of girls. Like for instance, like if you are just like a bumbling idiot actor who's like never made it big, and then all of a sudden like you just like if you're just like Jim Carrey before he's like big, when he's just like this like weird like caricature of a human with like obvious like issues, like hard to be around probably. And then all of a sudden you're just like the coolest fucking funniest guy in the world with like a big personality and you're attractive now, like probably all it happens like that. And so I think, and that's like kind of cherry picking, right? But I think it can happen. And a lot of people will jump to like money. Oh, you win a bunch of money or you make a bunch of money and now all of a sudden you have it. But I don't like to go there because I think you just attract the wrong people there. But in cold approach, dude, like once you kind of like get a knack for how to do it yourself, frankly, dude, once you get rid of all the vices, like you mentioned earlier about like, having like sobriety issues in your 20s, it's like once you like really put that shit in the past, once you really get rid of all that shit, then you're able to sort of step forward with like, okay, cool. Like this is who I am, like wearing yourself in your sleeve, so to speak, and like being like, this is who I am, take it or leave it. Cause it's not really just like that you have options, but it's just that you can create options. Right. So, but yeah, I mean, same thing said a little bit differently, but yeah, dude, definitely you're right. You got it. Your girl you have to be able to walk away. It's just like buying a fucking used car or whatever. You have to be able to walk away, or a car in general. You have to be able to walk away. You probably should walk away to like learn that. Like I always say, like the hardest lesson to learn, the most important lesson to learn is how to say no. And I remember the first time I had a girl come over like straight to the house after like, meeting her once. And then like I like texted her and said like, come on over. And she came over, and then she like wanted to hook up, but I didn't like her anymore. And I just like didn't plow through and just like do her. And she just like cried on my bed. I remember being like, damn, like it hurt. Like it was hard. It would have been so much easier to just like fuck her and be like, bye. It would have been so much easier, but like at a loss of dignity, at a loss of self-respect. And, and so like, yeah. So you got to learn how to say no. You got to be able to like walk away, like the fucking car dealership type thing. And you got to be able to learn how to approach. If you can't approach, then they know you're fibbing. You have to be able to like, yo, I can approach any girl in here and show her. And another thing is you got to have like something that you're working towards, because girls find that to be sexy and they're interested in like, oh, who will he become? They're interested in the man that you'll become. A lot of guys are like, oh, the girl's waiting at the finish line. No, she's not, dude. No, she's not. Those girls aren't good girls. Fuck those girls. The really, really good quality girls, like the beautiful, gorgeous, smart, like valuable girls, are actually looking for you before you get to the finish line, because they want to be there for the ride, because that's addicting and that feels good. Is 34's too old to begin to truly understand women, learn pickup? I don't know. I'm 34 right now. I've been working at it for like 14 years about, since my early 20s, I guess. And no, I would say no. Like I had a client, let me share this with you real quick. And then we're going to go. I'm going to share this with you guys, and then I'm going to go, unless you guys add any other sick questions. Does this mean I'm sharing the screen? Yeah, it does. So this is my trust pilot. If I've coached you guys, if you guys have appreciated any of like the commentary I've made or given you advice or whatever, and you feel like giving me a 5-star review, that would be really, really sick. I've only asked like trusted friends and clients that I've worked with, and they've all given me, 5-star reviews. I want to keep it there because I want to like screw over all these like grifters out there and all that shit, and basically just like stack the house. You know what I mean? But check this out. One of my first reviews here. Ryan changed my life. When I started working with Ryan, I was 63 years old, 6'2", 130 pounds, suffering from chronic pain and severe depression, and was in the process of getting divorced. I was under doctors and therapist care at the time. I've never worked with a life coach before and never thought I needed one. I ran into Ryan and everything changed. He was able to help me help myself. He helped me hone my mind and body. It's been 2 years now of working with working with my one and only coach Ryan, and I weigh 180 pounds. Yo, that's true. I go to the gym 4 days a week and sauna right after my workout, and cold showers he's doing, which he's really proud of. I manage my pain to 1 occurrence per day, and I'm no longer depressed. I'm not under any doctor's care and take no medication. I no longer see a therapist who agreed that I was doing fantastic. And the kicker is that I've dated 7 different women from age 37 to 62, which wasn't something. I'm 37 years old. He's 63, which wasn't something I was thinking about when we first started. Ryan changed my life. So dude, like 34, bro, this dude's 63 years old. And like, he was married for like 30 years. And like, he had no confidence. Like he was saying like, dude, like I'm afraid. Like I have no social skills. Like I'm afraid, which turned out to be a lie, because really what was in his way was his limiting beliefs that he kept repeating. I'm afraid. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this. So, like I gave him a bunch of like tips and tricks, and like he texted me and be like, yo, dude, like, how do you do this? And I'd be like, this is how to do it, which is why the community is where to go. Because like you can't just watch a YouTube video by me and like listen for a fucking hour and 3 minutes and like get much all that out of it. You know what I mean? You really get a lot more out of it if you just write me. If you just like message me directly and I'm like, yo, dude, like this is what to do. Like just the other night, and like I want to edit out all the names and shit, but like just the other night, this one guy texted me. He's like, yo, dude, like I got this girl on the hook, but like she's like, I don't know how to like hang out with her. And it's like, yo, dude, what you have to do is you have to like, what are you doing right now? And he's like, oh, well, we're texting, but like, it's just I'm just small talking with her every day. Cause like, I know like eventually it'll like break. I'm like, no, dude, that's not how it works. And I said, like, text her this, it'll spike her emotions. And then don't bring this up. That's her ex-boyfriend. If he gets brought up, say, oh, he must've been cool for being with you. You know, like simple lines that like can really help you, because it just like they can be plug and play, or it can like create for you an opportunity to create yourself. And so, yeah, man, like, don't think you're old, bro. I've like met guys in person too in boot camps back in the day who were like, in their 50s and 60s, who just like, when you meet them, you just look at them and you're just I know the other guys are looking at them thinking like, oh shit, like this guy's in my boot camp, like fuck. Which like I don't really want to do that anymore. Like I don't want to have boot camps with just like random dudes showing up. But like, when you have a boot camp, and these are boot camps run by other coaches that I was just helping with. But like when you have a boot camp with a guy who's like 60 years old, and he's like, and you're like, yeah, man. So like when you get her number, and he's like, which app? And he's like looking at his phone like this. He's like, which app is the contacts app? Like, it's like, dude, like what the fuck, dude? You're in trouble, bro. He's like, do I need to get Snapchat? It's like, no, dude, like fuck. So, but in reality, it's like, what did this guy have to do? Well, he had to dial in his morning routine. He had to dial it up. First dial it in, then dial it up, make it tight, make it strong, so that he was meditating every morning. He's learning a foreign language, which he might not ever use. He's going to the gym every day. His screen time is down. He's taking a long walk twice a day. And then all of a sudden he's asking girls out. You know what I mean? And they're just like, oh wow, like you have a great energy about you. I'd like to go out with you. So it's like, that's what it's about. Like women don't like me. Like I often make fun of the way that I look. So I'm like short and bald, and now I'm kind of fat, but like, I'm not really fat, and I'm like average height, and I'm not like ugly. So like but like, I'm not like, I shouldn't just be killing it like I do. With the girls that you've seen me with, the girls that I get, I get these results because of who I am, and you can't fake that shit. So, but here's the other thing is, a lot of guys, they say like, oh, well, well, then I'm screwed. Oh, well, I'm screwed because I was an addict for 20 fucking years. It's like, no, dude, that is the hero's story. Like, write me a tragedy and I'll show you a hero is a line I love. And that was me too, dude. I was a fucking mess. I was a mess. In my teens, I was a fucking mess. I was toxic I was the worst. I've done it all. And so much better that you can be the tragedy and then just pull yourself up from the mud and become the hero. Like that's a hero. So like, I just watched Gladiator the other night. I showed my girl Gladiator, and because she's never seen it, she's Chinese. She doesn't get it all. She doesn't get any of the themes or anything like that. But I listen to music all the time. I listen to the soundtrack when I do work because I love the soundtrack. It's incredible. And I notice more and more things about it. Like, it's just such a it's such a cliche story. It's like so typical. Like, it's not even like historically accurate in any way about like Marcus Aurelius and all those other things I love. But like, damn, it does such a good job of characterization, like of the hero. Like the dude just like doesn't give a fuck. Like nothing's going to stop him from what? From sitting down on his knees at the end of the night, saying his fucking prayer to his family that's dead. That's it. That's what he needs. That's why he lives. He lives to look at those little wooden dolls and give him a kiss on the fucking head. It's crazy. When I saw it for the first time, I was like, yo, he lives to put the sand in his hand and fight. It's like, no. And so, yeah, man. Yeah, let's get after it, guys. Like, let's be a community. That's what this is really about. That's why I'm here. I'm not gonna, grift my way through this fucking world, that's for sure. And I know you guys won't let me. So let's be a good community together. And whether you join or not, like, I don't really give a shit. You can hit me up anytime. I'm gonna be here for you. And I know you guys would be there for me. So fuck yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that's right. Be caged, dude. That's right, dude. It's all about getting out into the real world. Get rid of, just eliminate all the bullshit, and then just get out there. If you think you're not spending a lot of time if you think like, online dating isn't a big part of your life, like, and you have it, it's a big part of your life. Like it's fucking you up. Yeah, dude. I don't know what line it was, but oh, write me a tragedy and I'll show you a hero. Dude, that's or like, yeah. Something like that. I don't fucking know. Dude, I like, because I read Marcus Aurelius like nonstop, bro. And yeah, dude. Yo, just popped in and got to go soon, but stoked to see you're back. Hell yeah, dude. Join us. It's up, man. realcoachryan.com. Come join us. We're going to have our first call on Friday. If not, this will be like a sort of like surrogate to that. And so, yeah, we'll try to like, do our best to get as many guys into that room as possible, because that's where I think the real conversations can actually happen. But yo, guys, I appreciate you guys so much. Like, I know I have some really loyal fans and friends who just like love the shit out of me, and I love you guys too. Like, I'm wary of saying that in certain corners of the online world, and because of like parasocial relationships and like, like grifting and shit. But I truly mean it. Like you guys really do. Like this brings me up every day. And even when I wasn't on here, like if you look at my Instagram, I was doing the same shit every day. Like, so that's what I preach. You're going to hear the same things again and again. Maybe it's going to sound boring to you, but if you dial it in and you follow it yourself, because it's a blueprint, like I didn't come up with it. If you follow it yourself, then you're probably not going to find it's boring anymore. Cause I'm obsessed with it. But yeah, guys, I love you guys. Dial up your daily process. Start right away. Start right now. Dial it up in the morning. As they say, stack the wins or whatever, like get them all done right away. The most efficient, easy things that you can do. Essentially meditate, nutrition, hydrate, seek inspiration, fitness. Those things everyone should just do right away. And yeah, and then the rest of it's cold approach. It's all about cold approach. So get some skills. And yeah, guys, comment below if you're watching this later. Join the real community, Real Coach Ryan. Leave a Trustpilot review. That'd be sick. And peace out. Much love.